What happens when a lifelong wish drives you toward the impossible? For James Sweeney, the answer was, make a movie about it. From childhood dreams to festival spotlight, Sweeney's journey with his film Twinless is both deeply personal and surprisingly universal. But it's also stirring up some debate. Let's dive into why. James Sweeney's fascination with twins started early. Growing up as a quiet Korean-American kid in Eagle River, Alaska, he found himself enchanted by twin stories like The Parrot Trap and the Mary-Kate and Ashley films. With a sister much older than him and a family that moved often due to military life, Sweeney experienced constant change and longing for connection. He even remembers asking his parents for a twin as a Christmas gift. Seriously. He shares, "Since my stepmother and father are both white, people would sometimes assume I was adopted, feeding into my childhood fantasy that maybe my real twin was out there somewhere, living with my biological mom." Fast forward a couple decades, and Sweeney is hunting for snacks in a New York Whole Foods between press events. Recounting this dream to a reporter, he jokes about his co-star, Dylan O'Brien's impeccably organized, a don't-like fridge full of condiments, unlike his own minimalist, essentials-only approach. On this particular trip, Sweeney laments a failed mission for Macintosh apples and cotton candy grapes. Simple moments that echo the subtleties of connection found in Twinless. Instead, he settles for unique items like peaches and cream soda and oat bars, determined to stay healthy during the press tour. Little details, small choices. These are exactly the observations Sweeney's fans love in his work. But here's where it gets controversial. Twinless isn't just about quirky friendships or nostalgic longing. The film, which Sweeney wrote, directed, and stars in, thrusts viewers into a razor-sharp exploration of loss and identity. It follows Dennis Sweeney and Roman O'Brien, two men who find each other at a support group for people who have lost their twins, a relationship many describe as the most profound connection a person can have. As they bond over nights at art museums and house parties, as well as those memorable grocery runs, uncomfortable truths emerge, testing the limits of their fledgling friendship. Sweeney emphasizes that while parts of the story are inspired by real events, like dating an identical twin, which kickstarted his first draft after their breakup, the film is not a direct retelling of his life. It's not autobiographical, he clarifies. Still, his personal attachment to the idea of twinship and the devastating loss associated with it drives the film's emotional core. He admits to being shaken by learning of twin bereavement support groups and wanted to explore how losing a twin is often experienced as a loss of identity itself. The script quickly earned a reputation for its biting wit and authentic, painfully specific observations. O'Brien, after reading it, said he was drawn to Sweeney's point of view. James is so incredibly brilliant, but he's also lived through very real, very human challenges that I've experienced too, O'Brien notes. Both shared feelings of childhood isolation, shaping the values in their adult relationships. If Twinless feels daring, that's no accident. Sweeney points out how tough it was to convince financiers to take a chance on a project where the central characters aren't always likable and make morally ambiguous choices. Over 100 investors passed, he admits, and I kept examining the script wondering, how do I help people see the compassion I have for these flawed characters? This struggle, he suggests, is at the heart of his work. Can audiences empathize with people who don't fit the mold? It's a tonal tightrope, he says. As an actor, you can't just play for likability. You have to focus on honesty. But as a filmmaker, you're always aware of how audiences will respond. Here's the part most people miss. Twinless isn't just about grief. It's a study of deep yearning for companionship, maybe even codependency. Sweeney sees a direct line from this film to his previous one, the offbeat rom-com Straight Up, which centered on a gay man so terrified of dying alone that he tries dating women. In both movies, the fantasy is the same, finding that one person who completes you. But is relying on a single relationship to meet all your needs really healthy? Or, as Twinless subtly hints, is it a recipe for heartbreak? Despite playing abrasive or even unlikable characters on screen, Sweeney is warm, infectiously funny, and quick to make light of mini disasters. Like grocery store accidents during interviews, his candor and self-awareness contrast sharply with his often caustic screen personas. In both his life and art, he gravitates towards stories about people who are complicated and unapologetically themselves, much like his cinematic idols, Noah Baumbach and Steven Soderbergh. O'Brien, who has become a close friend, praises Sweeney's work ethic and determination. No one works harder. This success didn't just fall into his lap. He earned every bit of it. With Twinless earning the top audience prize at Sundance and stirring vibrant conversations, you get the sense there's much more to come from Sweeney, though he's tight-lipped about his next project for now. And this is where the debate heats up. Does Twinless ask us to empathize with characters who cross moral lines? Is our longing for perfect companionship realistic or a dangerous illusion? Do you see yourself in Dennis's or Todd's search for belonging? Or do their choices push your limits of sympathy? Let's open the floor. Do you think movies should push audiences to root for flawed, even unlikable people? What boundaries, if any, should storytellers respect when tackling loss, identity, and friendship? Share your thoughts below. Do you agree with Sweeney's bold approach? Or does Twinless go too far?